seventh step in our course is to use MIDI controllers. It can be even that inbuilt in your typing keyboard, or a small 2.5 octave portable MIDI keyboard like I have. Most of you might be not common with keyboard MIDI controllers, but I tell you to do it if you've never even seen a piano keyboard in your life. Being able to play a piano keyboard is not crucial, but it's insanely useful. I'm not even saying about playing harmonies and chord progressions on a piano, but simple things as vocal chops, for example. The chops will play randomly anyway, and piano just gives you the opportunity to trigger them physically, which is way more easier, inspiring, and flow-friendly than writing it with mouse one by one. So how this idea came to my mind? I saw a lot of people asking under the comments of our posts to make a tutorial on how to make vocal chops, and that's what I exactly did. I started with a simple vocal, which is here.
Take me somewhere we can be alone.
That is a perfect sample for a vocal chop. Since it's super simple, super short, it varies in pitch and have long and short notes. So you could do the same, you could find a sample, but of course you can always sing something, auto-tune it, and then make a vocal chop out of it. Or if you're doing a remix contest, for example, you could take the vocals from the remix contest and make a vocal chop out of it in way how we'll do it in this video. So second thing I did is applied a pedal, which gives us cool distortion, this time in overdrive mode. Some EQing which doesn't really do anything, so we could actually get rid of it. But then I transpose it an octave down.
Take me somewhere we can be alone.
Of course, with warping set it to Pro and formats taken down to 0. After that, I copied it again with exact processing here, but EQ taken higher and also taking higher frequencies, since I transposed the vocal an octave from the original. So it sounds like this. Really weird, but it's very subtle when we play them together.
Take me somewhere we can be alone.
Without the higher vocal.
Take me somewhere we can be alone.
Adds this a little sparkle at the top. Then what I did is just made a new audio channel, set it to resampling, arm it and hit F9.
Take me somewhere we can be alone.
And I took this vocal as my starting point.
Take me somewhere we can.
As you can hear, it's pretty nice. So then how do we do a vocal chop out of it? There's a couple of ways to do it. One would be to just take the vocals like this, add a new audio channel, take this vocal and chop it like this, for example. I don't find this technique really convenient, so that's what we are not doing. We are adding a new MIDI channel and putting this vocal into it. After that, Ableton gives us a really convenient feature of slicing the audio inside of the simpler here. And this gives us super nice opportunity to play the vocals as we said, for example, with our typing keyboard or our MIDI controller. And then there's just a matter of setting those triggers here to proper spots. And then you can find cool spots, and that's what I played with. I just played with the spots here, and then what I were left with was simple slices like here. Of course, what we could do is set the sensitivity to higher or lower to have more triggers, but I did it manually, and this is what I came up with. Simple thing as super simple thing as this one. And after that, you can already apply some effects. It would be at the beginning OTT, as I like to use it, in 30%, for example. Then maybe EQing. Then some pedal. And reverb for sure. And after that, we are pretty much done with the processing of the vocal drop. We add some compression, so it's not that audible in our mix, but it depends how audible we want to make it, so play with the compression as you want. And then just comes the matter of if you already made a song and you're making a vocal chop to it, or want to make a vocal chop and start with this one. Of course, it will be easier to make first the song and then the vocal chop to it, since you can just play the song and play random notes and hear if it fits or not. Also, it depends on your vocal. This vocal is not really long and we don't have too many space to play with, but in the end we always can do it pretty nice. Another tip about vocal chops is I would start with very simple chops like just this thing. For example, 2 notes for 2 bars, and then start building more. Since if you're not sure about how to make your vocal chops, start with very simple notes. But what I did is actually, you can see it here. Let me take the MIDI information here, what I did, and here's just, let's maybe take some of the low end of the reverb. Right, and this is sounding pretty bad, but then there comes the hardest part of making cool vocal chops, and the most time-taking thing is transposition. I already have it transposed to -1 step, but that's super fun and super inspiring to play with the transposition of your vocal chop. And it's as simple as automating the transposition. So we start with this thing, and then we take this note, hold shift, and take it up or down. And this part of coming up with this takes the most time. Of course, there's a matter of how advanced and how complicated you want it to be, but you can do simple stuff as well as advanced stuff like this thing. Then you can always make a different and more interesting transposition holding Alt. But let's keep it as we had, and after that, as you can see, we have pretty much done vocal drop, and let's see how it sounds again. Right, and this happened from this vocal.
Take me somewhere we can be alone.
And very important thing is to first off load a vocal to MIDI track, apply effects as simple as this one. I'll save it and give it to you so you can play with it yourself. And after that, you can play random notes on your MIDI keyboard or your typing keyboard. Of course, if you have a MIDI keyboard, you can always make different velocities of the notes, but it's not really crucial for most of the time. Why is the processing part that important? Processing part is important so you get inspired to go on with the flow. Since if you do it without it, I would never get inspired to make this transposition pattern. And after I add those, I get instantly inspired to create this cool transposition part. Of course, it doesn't have to happen all the time. So don't think like, oh my god, I need to process it first and then do stuff. No, it's not that important. But keep in mind that processing can get you inspired to do different things. Of course, if you're making vocal chops, don't think that you need to adjust the slices here. They are usually already nicely placed. So how could you use it in your unique way? In this case, as I've showed you vocal chops, there is no not unique way to do it yourself, since it's pretty much impossible to do the same vocal chops 2 times in a row. So let's hear what I have here. As you can hear, this track is pretty empty despite being wide and hard hitting, right? So what I usually do if I feel something is empty and is lacking vocal, I just add a simple vocal. I have this vocal which I found somewhere in my old library.
Give me your lovin', give me your lovin', just give me your lovin'.
And then what I do is just transpose this vocal so it matches the track. So it should go about 5 semitones. 6. Let's go 6. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. And now what we do is just go to slice mode. And as you can see, we have a lot of slices here. As you can see, I'm not able to play it with my typing keyboard. That's why you should have a MIDI keyboard, like at least 2.5 octave, which are pretty popular right now since they are pretty portable and small and are velocity sensitive and are pretty cheap nowadays. So I would suggest you having at least a 2.5 octave in your studio if you don't want to invest more than 40 or 30 bucks. So now to stay in the flow, what I would do is actually go to my library and choose the course vocal chop rack that I gave you already, and hear how it sounds now. It's pretty nice sounding already. So I would just take some of the highs here, right? And we can already start working with this thing. And now just go around the track, for example, and try to play random notes and see what could fit into it. For you, I will be playing on my typing keyboard, but believe me that it's way easier to do on the MIDI keyboard. Now we could capture the MIDI we have played already, extend it and see what could actually fit us here. I'll go here. And we could actually just copy the one we've already made. Yeah. Here's the wrong note. Right, and as we have this thing, now we could take care of the processing, maybe add more distortion here. To to make it more in the background, since this track really is busy already, so we could just add some variety here and there for it. And after you've got some idea in your head, now you could actually remember which note you played, delete it and play it once again, but with clear concept in mind. Right, and then after that you just get rid of the things that you don't really like and copy it again here, for example. Right, so you can see how easy it is to make your track stand out with simple vocal chops, and you don't actually have to find any vocal chop sample libraries out there, because you can make them yourself in a very easy way.